Hello, everybody here who's tuning in today. I'm going to do a collective reading for the start of the new year for 2025, some things to look forward. I feel more called to just do the first 6 months or up until like about the springtime. Not doing too much of the whole year, but more focusing. Like, there will be some messages for the whole entirety of the year, but like we're gonna more focus on the first quarter more than anything in this reading. Some things to keep in mind. So my name is Cosmo. I know I'm new here, so I'm gonna be posting. If you feel ever called to like support or just show appreciation or in gratitude, I will be posting a wish list. If you want to donate anything that's on that wish list, sending it my way. Love you all for that, whoever feels called to. And then I'm also going to be posting, I have my Calendly ready, so I'll be posting a link for that so that you can schedule readings with me. And then once that's done, like, I'll reach out to you. It'll have information obviously and everything so that you can send that. I know how to get a hold of you, and then we'll figure out payment, because I'm kind of new to this, so I'm kind of figuring some of these things out as I go, like more the digital aspect, like how to set these things up and the nuance of like the settings, which is fun. So there's that. And then if you do like this, like, comment, share, subscribe. I like to get, input and see how my messages are being received or they're helping. And some signs that have been coming in. So first off, I know like in one of my recent videos I mentioned earthworm, so that's been coming in through a lot more lately, like and gives me symbolism like building strong foundations, because we're still kind of in that like planning phase, like no need to like go full steam ahead right now is what I'm being shown. And it's still more like in the planning phase, the collaborating with anybody or anyone who's in your community, even like I was being shown that. I'm also getting like elf energy, which is interesting, which might just be because we just had, the holiday season, so maybe there's still some of that going on. And with the earthworm, like, it's a funny story because I was shown the first in the dream, and it seemed really powerful in the dream because of the way like it approached me. I was kind of like like, because like I'm a fan of like Alien and things like that franchise, so like, anything that's worm like or something, like, it's like I like, I'm a little like, oh, like, it's not always benign. So anyways, but then like I play Pokemon Scarlet, and I didn't even know about this new Pokemon, and I hadn't gotten to this point in the game, but apparently there's a Pokemon called Ortho-worm, which is literally just a giant worm that's made of steel. It's a steel type, so it's like, so emphasis on strong foundations, because Earthworm has to do with like foundations and like your roots and being very grounded, but emphasis, like, it was funnily showing up in Pokemon again, like saying like, hey, you need to say more about this. Other symbols that have been coming through is ladybugs. So I've been getting like a lot of ladybugs in my house. So like if you've been seeing ladybugs, like, that's the sign of like the ancestors with you, and is also like, obviously we know them as they're good luck, but they're also fairly strong symbols of like love. So like focus on the things, like I said, we're in this planning phase still, so like focus on, as you're planning, if you don't even know what the exactly what you want to plan yet, let's say like, just you still have like more of a vague plan, just focus on like the things you love, and the plans and the ideas and the insight and the vision will come to you just by focusing on the energy, just feeling the love in a very like general vague sense. So that's what's been coming through there. And then also I was being shown, it's like, you're going to see the movement of others. And I was being shown some of these things in a dream. So like this one was shown in a dream, was like, it's like you're like getting a peek through the door. What I mean by that is like and seeing like what lies on the other side, and like what that's gonna look like as far as like people and things and stuff like that. So like what I was being shown is like I was literally like looking under like a garage door that was raised partially, and I was just kind of like peeking out, and I was seeing someone getting in their car and leaving, but then like also a car is showing up. So it's like it just basically showed me, it's like you're getting a peek behind the door of what's to come, what the door that's about to open, or the doors that are opening, which is a big door apparently, and you're getting a glimpse of like the kind of movement or things to expect. So that's also why like Spirit is emphasizing to still not hold back, but like don't be so full steam ahead. Still like rest in that receiving and that planning mode a little bit more, because we're not quite there yet, but things will start picking up soon, especially because this movement was being symbolized with cars. So like obviously that's faster than like walking or riding a bike or a lot of other modes of transportation. It's a pretty quick and instant way to travel about. So with that all being said, let me know like how those signs or synchronicities are popping up in your life. I would love to hear that, like how that is, and it just helps, support and help us connect with each other in a more deep and profound way. And so bring light to that connection by sharing your experiences and insights as well. So to get started on this, I'm going to start with the Feather and Stone Oracle, which is this. So it's by St. Jinx, and he has 18 plus decks as well, but I found him a few years back, and I really love his decks because sometimes it's not always easy to find representation for LGBTQ, and he has his decks are centered around that. So at least with the male homosexuality more than anything. But it is like, if that interests you, you should check it out. And he's got quite a few decks, and they're beautiful decks. So first card I got is Lord of the Hunt. And so here you got the tiger and you got a crossbow. So yeah, it's that and then you got the fire so it's like centering. I'm getting quite a bit in this. So centering, like I said, focusing on that love. So so this is gonna like signify like the first couple months of the year, like right where we're kind of at right now. So it's like having that eye of the tiger basically, and like focusing like the hunter, like on the things you love, on the things that you're passionate about. And what I'm getting, because of the way like he's sitting with the tiger, and they work, like you can just tell like they work as one. So it's like that represents to me like the lower natures are more like animal nature, our predator nature that we have in our lower self, but it's in harmony with each other, where they work together and to create this vision and focus on what they're going to, like their New Year's resolutions. So you have that, and so if that's what you're doing, you're right where you need to be. And then the next card. Okay, yeah. So just continuing kind of with this energy, but in a moving forward way. So we have the strategist. So, and then going forward, we'll start to form our strategy and taking movement. So like I'm going to show the card again. But you have, so you're going to get more of your higher chakra activations is what I'm getting from the butterflies around his head, like especially the crown. So you're going to start getting more an influx in light coming in. That's going to give you that inspiration to start creating your strategy. But you're also seeing that he's seemingly to be putting on his shoes. So like that's preparing to step forward into your what you've manifested and seen for yourself. So it's signifying like preparing for that movement, like for the going ahead in this new year. So there's that. And at the bottom of the deck, I'm being called to pull right now, we have the Lord of Whispers. So as you can see, it is a lover's kiss, but I'm not so much just getting like there's whispers of love is kind of what I'm getting, especially with like Valentine's Day coming up and like the spring. But I'm also seeing like, so how one has like the lighter like the more golden, lighter, fair complexion, and then this one is the horn. So it's like I've seen like it's a love of yourself, of bringing into harmony the lower and higher aspects, the light and the shadow within ourselves. This coming of like, and I'm getting like, yeah, like around February, end of February, like in beginning of March is what I'm getting with that energy. And then let's see, I'm being called to pull one more card. Like I said, I'm kind of just more interested in the first quarter. No reason, like I said, we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves right now. Like, it's really easy to focus on too many things and like allow yourself to get overwhelmed. Don't do it. Like, let your higher self and the higher realms and your spirit guides like take care of that, like let God take care of that. And your only job right now, like that's not your job really at all. I know we get curious and nosy, but your job more than anything is to be present and focus on more the immediate, what you're stepping into and what's around you that is stepping in towards that with you or without you. Maybe, you know, this is a time, like I've been cleaning my house lately, not just like physically, but like energetically and even myself internally, and just seeing like, noticing more like what's still here and taking note, like what, not even like in an absolute way, but like maybe this isn't coming with me. Maybe this person's not coming with me. It's not just a thing or a concept. Some of it is people, like where I'm like noticing, it's like I don't know if they're meant to come with me. And just sitting with yourself and being honest, like, and it's not saying like you won't ever talk to that person or communicate again, but it's just like their role in your life might not be so active or dominant or prevalent anymore. It's like it might be more like they're gonna step more to the peripherals of your life and be someone that is just here and there, and that could change as well. But with the next card, we got Lord of Pathways. So exactly like I'm saying, like that door is opening, and you're kind of like what I was just talking about. Cannot make this up. Like literally, that's like we're kind of like taking stock right now and planning still, like what do we want to hunt down, what do we want to like have our strategies be made up of at this point. Like not getting too ahead of ourselves, not rushing forward too fast, like we're not going full steam ahead right now. Like we're in like, okay, like if I was just like, right now we're driving like to take a car, like since it brought up cars in my dreams, it's like we're driving like 25, we're in the school zone, there we go, we're driving like 25-30 miles an hour. Like we're not going full steam ahead, we're not on the freeway yet, we're not on the highway yet, we're not on the autobahn, like definitely not on the autobahns, like, so we don't need to be doing that. Like we're still just, we're cruising, we're kind of on a scenic drive right now, like kind of like taking it all in, like, you know, we're still taking that all in, like from last year and what's here and what's still with us and how we've grown. And definitely like the tap into this more, I would definitely go into a gratitude practice right now, like just being grateful to be here, like we made it, and just everything that's came and gone and grown and changed and developed and enveloped. But so that's what the reason I'm bringing that up is because it's like he's looking back, he's like, he sees the door and it's like, is this it? Like I'm just getting like a look, like it's like, okay, like this is happening. And I don't know if you can see, but on the other side of the door there's a person. So on the other side of this door, like I was getting whispers of love. And so it's like, yeah, there, for a lot of you, there's going to be love, lots of love. And I'm not just getting like a single person, but I'm even getting like soul tribe. Like there's going to be more people like coming into union, because you're coming into such a strong union within yourself. So it's like, that's going to be, it has to, by law of the universe, like it's going to be reflected to you, not just with a soulmate or a divine counterpart, but like your soul, what a lot of people call the soul tribe, just people that are going to align with this new vibe and frequency, this place in your development that you are like because what I'm getting is that you have, not that you haven't found some sort of sense of community in the last year, but it's like you've still been keeping more to yourself. So it's gonna like, the communities you're already involved with are gonna grow, change, and augment and elevate. But then you're also gonna be calling, excuse me, confirmation burp, you're gonna be calling in more. And so enjoy this time to yourself right now, because you're not gonna get that so easily and readily. And that's gonna kind of start getting more, your personal time is gonna start getting more decided by spirit a little bit more. Like still like do your, like make time in your mornings or your evenings or both, and like weekly, but like any of those other times in between are going to be more kind of up the spirit in your higher self when you get that. And that's kind of like where our growth is needed to be catalyzed in that way right now, if you are tuning into this message. So with that, on the bottom of the deck for this overall energy, I'm getting the Lord of Many Faces. So what I'm getting with that is that not so much for yourself, but with others, but you will start, because everyone's a reflection of you, is like any of the, like, instead of wearing so many personas, because you know how like there's the, like, you know, you put on a slightly different persona or you show a different dimension or aspect of yourself depending on who or what you're with. It's like you're still gonna have those multifacetedness, because that's just kind of human nature and there's nothing wrong with it. But what this is sharing and showing to me is that it's gonna, instead of there being so many, we're gonna start getting so more in resonance with the core of our being and our truth, that like you're gonna start, it's gonna be, you're gonna be showing up more authentically. So it's only gonna, like, what I'm getting is like it's gonna be like maybe several slightly different dimensions or aspects of yourself you're gonna kind of rotate between, but there's not gonna be so many, because there's not gonna be a need. It's almost like these mini masks or faces that you have are all going to start coming into larger ones, like more whole, complete ones, where there still might be, like I said, like 3 to 4 different ones, but instead of like being a dozen, now it's gonna condense and consolidate down to like, okay, now there's just like 3 or 4 aspects or personas of myself that I step into depending on the situation or the circumstances, just, and not in a way where you're letting like situations and circumstances like dictate, but it's more like you're recognizing like this would best serve me to be in this energy of my being in this situation. So, and that's why I just want to stress that, like, you want to view it that way and not the other way around, because you want to be coming at it from an empowered place where it's like, I'm showing up in this authenticity at this time of my being because this is where I am right now. But also recognizing that if I feel called to shift or show a different, like, it won't be based off circumstances. It will be because of a knowing or a resonance within myself that's like, because you could show up and like maybe like on the surface it would seem that like this is the archetype or persona of myself, that side of my being that I want to come into the situation with, like, you know, might be typically more favorable. But if you're feeling in resonance, like, you know what, instead of being agreeable, my agreeable self in this, I'm going to come in as my rebel self in this, and like that might look crazy to other people, you go with the rebel, like, and that's what I'm trying to say is like, but at the same time, like, where we're seeing which sides of ourselves in a more consolidated way are best served in any given circumstances based off what we feel in our resonance. But a lot of that's going to be falling away, so you're going to notice a lot of that, and that makes a lot of sense because, like I said, in the dream, I was being shown like where you're starting to see what's on the other side of the door of the portal that we're passing through or we're being presented with, and it was showing me like, whereas like I was watching to see where someone was going, so that's it same thing kind of energy where it's just like, you're starting to see what people have really been up to, or what people really are interested in, or like how people really are, like their masks are gonna fall away, like anything that they're trying to hide or sneak off and do, it's like that's all gonna start coming to the surface. Like you're gonna find yourself like, you know, I just happened in the dream, like found myself in the garage at that time that the person was leaving, and that, you know, it's not like I was deliberately, intentionally following this person. It's like you're going to find yourself just by chance in the right time and place where you're going to have things revealed to you. Not in like a eavesdropping type of way. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're eavesdropping, then no blame, shame, or guilt. Like that's where you're supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to learn about it. It might not be the popular opinion, and that might trigger some people, but like, it's all about perspective. And for anything else, I've got my Celtic Dragon deck by DJ Conway. If you are into dragons and have not heard of DJ Conway, well, you need to look into her because they have a lot of wisdom and knowledge when it comes to working with dragons and dragon energy. I'll just say that. So let's see what anything coming through. So yeah, like this goes with the like confirmations with this reading for the first quarter of this year. So we got King of Pentacles. So yeah, we're going forward, we're looking out in the distance, and the Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, is a more like slow, deliberate, like we're not, like I said, we're not going full steam ahead yet, like not quite yet. It's gonna, like, I'm picking up, especially like he's got like what looks like a fire dragon. So it's like, it's definitely got the potential and plans on using that type of energy in the future, but we're not doing that right now. So just taking it easy. And in this picture, we're also seeing it's like ruins or remnants of some ancient structures, it seems like. And what I'm getting with that is that some of these things that we're realizing aren't going to be coming with this or might not be able to come with this are things that have been with us for a long time, maybe in a lifetime or lifetimes before this, that we're like, we're stepping through a door, a portal where these things, they will clear away on their own, or we have to make that choice to let these things go, because they're meant to be left behind. They're not in our story anymore as far as like the present and the future. Anything else for me? So yeah, same thing. So we got death. Like I said, this is for some of you, this is gonna be some big, long-held beliefs or structures we've had in our lives, and they're falling away. But as you see in that, it's because you're seeing the light. You're seeing things more clearly. You're seeing things from a higher perspective. Or you're starting to, and you're going towards that. You're looking towards that. And you're trusting that. What would help in this, is what I'm getting, is to be more into that Empress energy. I definitely identify more with the divine feminine, the feminine energy, and so it's like, yeah, be more in that Empress. And that kind of looks like the same white dragon too, so it's like, that's what, as a way to help this energy, this new clarity, awareness coming in, and like stepping through this door in this portal, the Empress energy, and just being more in that receiving energy and knowing that it's all good and it's all taken care of, and if it isn't, it's going to be. And then we got the Three of Cups. So passing through this is cause for celebration, but with this, it's like, it's a little bit different than the normal Three of Cups, like if you know, like Rider-Waite and some other ones. So it's like, it's more like, it's like there is going to be a celebration, but it's not going to be like, you might not be like go out and party type thing. It's going to be more like how he's resting on his pile of gold, his treasures, and he's looking at the Three of Cups, like, and just kind of, it's more going to be not like you need the rest, but you're just going to be like, it's going to be relieving, like more like it's like a more of a relief type of energy of like in the lines of celebration, whereas like I'm celebrating by just having that big exhale. Like, that wasn't so bad, we did it. Type of energy. And now I can just enjoy the all that is and all that is to come, and going into this next year. So yeah, like, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. And so we got this, the Seven of Swords in reverse. And so what that's telling me, especially if it's facing towards me, is that within, the treasures within, you found the treasures, it was treacherous. As you can see, he's kind of like, he's worried that, like, you know, he's been in this dungeon. This dungeon's not the safest dungeon. He knows there's peril, there's hazards in this dungeon. He has found the chest though, and he's stolen away with the goods. And not stolen, but like he's found the goods. So you've gone to the depths, you've gone into the shadow, you've walked through the darkness, you've found your treasure, and now you already know the dungeon with the safe routes and the unsafe routes. So like you're just heading back up to the surface. Like with that death card, you're heading back up to this. You're seeing the light. You're coming out of the darkness. You've done enough for now. We might, this is an ongoing, lifelong type thing for some of us, and if not all of us. But right now we've gone deep. We found the treasures of the shadow and revealed the gifts that our shadows have had for us this whole time. And now we need to come up to the surface, bring those into the light, use them, and let them blossom and grow, and bring them into the world and share them with everyone. So to get a little bit more into it, so I've kind of predicted the first quarter of the year and seeing how the energy is going to go. It's going to be very harmonious. This is what I'm getting. So I'm going to see anything from the shadow, my shadow deck. So that's my shadow edition, Threads of Fate. If you like this one, it's very holographic. Love this one. It has been an invaluable ally with my mirror work and shadow work with myself and others. So I'm getting Fox energy, the Withdraw, and as you see, like the light illuminating around it, it's like, so I'm not getting it in so much the typical way. I'm getting it more like, because of all the withdrawn, and yeah, we're gonna be like kind of withdrawn a little bit for a little bit a short amount of time here, but I'm getting that we're with as a byproduct of how we've withdrawn into ourselves so long, kind of like how even like foxes go in their dens and like kind of hibernate during the colder months. It's like we're shining because of it. We're glowing up because of it. Anything else? I'm getting 3 cards with this. So we got 1 and 2. There we go. Like I said, 3 cards. Okay. So okay. So yeah, like I said, the planning. So we're the weaver. Yeah, we're the weaver. And right now, it's about taking those once divided parts of ourselves and finally putting in place those boundaries and bringing them together. The moon actually might help you in this. If you work with the moon. And this one is juicy. We got sacred sexuality. So especially like with February coming up and Valentine's Day. So yeah, what some last minute things might be that to either heal or let go of or bring into awareness is something around our sexuality, particularly like really getting clear on what sacred sexuality is to us. And like loving yourself, honoring yourself, valuing yourself, and trusting yourself. Those things are invaluable if you're going to get clear on your sacred sexuality and like and clear in a way where you're not just following other doctrines about it, but like getting clear on like what that means and how that is for you, because sexuality is such a personal thing for every single person that I definitely am more of an advocate. Like, go and learn and experience all the things that call to you within reason. Obviously, no, we don't want to go into self-harm or, harming others. And I mean that in like a way where it's like you might get swept into something because it can be very like alluring and seductive, this type of energy, and overpowering for some. But so using discernment, but what I mean is like you go and you learn as much as you can and different perspectives from different modalities and experience all that you feel comfortable enough to experience. And then it's like get clear and go within and get deep on like what that is for you, and not subscribing to one particular thing, because sexuality is just so fluid that like I think one of the biggest crimes of the modern age is how much we've tried to put it in a box. But I also understand, like, because of how powerful it is and can be, of why that box was kind of created anyways. And then before I go, I wrap this up. I was feeling called by the dragons, so I got my Star Dragon, which is a really neat deck. To get some messages from this for the first quarter. And overall, I'm just getting this year is going to be a very expansive year, where it's not just inward. We're going to see a lot of this in the physical world now. So this is definitely like confirmation and just further emphasis on choices. So like that's why we're still kind of more in that don't go full steam ahead, like focus on the plans and the strategizing energy right now, and like getting one with all aspects of our being, so that we understand the consequences and we can make better choices. Like we've learned quite a bit in this last year and experienced quite a lot within, like I think, and so this is where we really get to like make the choice and cut those ties. Like, are we going to really break out of these cycles now, or do we still need to like on some level still be choosing and feeling called to certain things? So, and once again we have like the multiple aspects of self with the two heads. Well, there's really three because there's like a lower mid one, but it's about seeing both sides of everything, all the sides to everything, and bringing those into balance. Anything else? I'm getting 3 cards again with this. I do like the number 3 a lot. What do they say? 3's a charm? Ooh, I got 4. Okay. So we've got healing and effort. So it's the efforts for your healing have created this space now. And so this makes sense. Okay, this goes with everything I've been saying so far. So that's why it is so important. It's because often what will happen when we've healed wounds, when we've healed past patterns, we'll start creating all this space. And for whatever reason, a lot of us have this calling. I don't know if it's like a human thing or what, but like when we have space, it's like we want to fill it so fast. Like we can't just be content and okay and neutral about this space that has either taken place or grown or developed in our life. So that's what it's like with all these choices. Like that's why it's like getting clear on the choice. Like if we are to fill this space that we have now acquired for ourselves with all our healing, with all the efforts we put into our healing, like are we now going to like what are we gonna fill that space with? Like be very conscious and methodical and like concise on what you want to fill this space with now, because space is a gift in itself, because that's the nothingness or something very close to it, where it's like it's the blank slate. It's the, if you play Minecraft, it's like going into sandbox mode. Like you're in like it's like, what do you want to create and put there now? Or do you want to just keep that space for now? And it's okay just to keep that space for now, but that can be uncomfortable. Maybe like just go feel into that uncomfortableness. Also like what I was talking about, like conquering those lower aspects, and bringing in, this one says conquering demons, like bringing those lower aspects of ourselves into harmony with the rest of our being in an elevated way. And this healing has restored your hope. But like I said, it's like we're not wanting to get too ahead of ourselves and repeat things. So it's like, you got all this space now. So like, what are you gonna fill this space with in this like first quarter of the year? Like, what really can or do you want to come with you into the rest of the year? Like, now with everything you've experienced and everything you know, like, what's gonna best serve you and is gonna create the experience you want to experience now. Lastly, I forgot to mention, so I obviously work with Moss Spirit, which is a very in tune with the moon type of animal spirit guide, and I'm feeling called to share. I will be sharing a link to where, like, with this full moon, and then I don't know, just kind of playing it, going with the flow with this, but like right now it's not anything that I'm going to be charging for, but that will change in the future, because I'm more wanting to see how many people are interested in this and how it goes. But I have what has been shown to me by my Moss Spirit, animal spirit guide, that's very powerful, with like going through the shadow, working with the subconscious, and like still feeling that guidance through the moon, when you're facing the darkness and the shadows, or you're those uncertain times. And so I'm feeling called, anyways, it's called a moon attunement activation, and I will be doing that on the full moon. If you want to join me, I will be posting links on my channel for that, and once it's up, I will have those links down below in the videos, and I hope to see you there if you feel called to work with me in that way. And I will explain more as time goes on, and have like a detailed explanation of what kind of to expect. But just kind of like with the formlessness of the moon, it's kind of like, it's really going to be personalized to everyone, and all I'm really doing is just attuning you to the frequency, to where you will have your own Moth Spirit guide that will work with you and be as long as you want them to, and just helping you connect more deeply with your subconscious and the moon. That like there's a reason why it's been such a powerful ally throughout our human history, and this helps you reclaim some of that connection and breaks down some of those barriers between the conscious and the subconscious, and helps, in my experience, what I've experienced, bring more coherency between mind and heart. So anyways, with all that being said, sending you all the love and clarity in this time, while you set those intentions and get more clear on how you want this year to go. Take care, beloved beings, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.